What's up, you guys?
Welcome back to the Sibling Duo podcast. I'm Tiffany,
And I'm Daniel.
and we are back for episode 4?
Four.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, you won't believe what I got to do yesterday. I don't have words, guys. Yesterday, I got to meet the 3 one and onlys, Noah LYLES, Kenny BEDNAREK, and Gabby Scott.
Crazy.
Okay, I'm going to tell the whole story.
All right, cool.
So Daniel tells us that he saw that all these guys are going to be right near us for just a free little meet and greet to get to know, get to be able to see them and all that stuff. So we drive out there. We pull into the parking lot, okay? We're looking for a parking spot, and my dad looks up and he goes, "Is that Noah LYLES?" He, no joke, drives past us.
No.
He looks me in the eye and he smiles and he waves at us.
Wow.
And I didn't know what to do with myself. And he goes and he parks in his little special spot, and we got out of the car and went and kind of stalked him maybe. And his mom was there. They were all just around the car, and then we waited and waited, and then we got to go. They introduced them. He had on his medals. They all had on their medals. And then we went inside. There was you would just kind of walk through, and they each had a table. We got signatures. Look at what I got. We got an armband.
Wow.
I can't really put it on right now, but I got Gabby Scott. She's the pink one right there. She is a 400 athlete. She runs the 400 open. She also runs the hurdles. We asked her what her advice was for high school athletes, and she was just talking about once you compete, that's just, you've put in all the work, so just go out there and trust your work. And also for the 400, it's a super hard event. She was talking about just trusting your endurance, being able to go out strong and know that you can finish hard. So it was really cool. She was super, super nice and just very relatable. So it was very cool getting to meet her. I didn't really know her very much before this, so it was very cool to be able to meet her. And then I got in black right there, Noah LYLES.
And then blues, Kenny BEDNAREK. Sweet.
Yes, Kenny BEDNAREK right there.
Dude.
And
Kung Fu Kenny.
This is Noah. He signed this, and it says, "I have asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression. But I will tell you that what you have does not define what you can become. Why not you?" So it was very cool to be able to meet him. I also have asthma, so it's cool to be able to see an athlete that got gold in the 100, the fastest man, and he has asthma. And so it just shows what hard work can do. And yeah, so I am over the moon. Oh, wait, that's not it. So then we get home and we looked on their Instagrams and stuff. Gabby Scott, she posted a video on her story of her signing my arm.
That's so
and
cool.
An Olympian put me on their story.
Yeah. It's so cool.
It's just, and it was also very cool. Kenny BEDNAREK put on his just a video of him getting to see some of the younger kids that look up to them, really little kids, and he said inspiring the next generation. And so
Wow.
I just love that these athletes do this, get to meet the different people, and then just inspire these little kids. And inspire me. And I mean, it's just so cool to be able to see what they've done, and then get to see them as actual human beings, and just that they're normal, and I don't know, it's a very cool thing. So it's awesome. Different than seeing them on the TV where everyone sees them. A one-on-one it's really cool. So
that's incredible. We were talking about Gabby. When you said basically trusting the process, trusting that you got to the point where you are. And like when you line up on the line and get in your blocks and you're like, there's all the, different things that come rushing in your mind, to be able to just like calm your mind, to be like, I prepared up to this point and I'm ready to go out and just give it my all. Like that's such a great point that she made. So that was really cool. Like I love what Kenny was able to do and saying that. And I think like Noah, obviously there's people that love him, people that hate him, and that's the thing that I think our sport's been missing a lot, is that all these other sports have like all these stars, like, or big people. Like you got Tom Brady. I don't know anything about golf, but like Tiger Woods, like, and you like, it's like household names, that like everyone knows about. And track has had a few, but like there hasn't really been much aside from like, 20-second interviews after they run for like 10 seconds anyway. So like there's not much, like they don't get to see people, or people don't really get to know them outside of like just seeing them on TV for like 10 seconds. So I think it's really cool that you were able to go meet them. Obviously, I mean, it's pretty great. But I think that what Noah and a lot of the people in this upcoming like new generation of athletes has been able to do has been really cool. I think we have a lot of great opportunities moving forward in track and field for sure. And like the whole like sprint documentary they did was able to bring a lot of them together and like show kind of the backstory. And obviously Noah has done a lot of like documentaries on his YouTube and done a bunch of social media stuff.
There was one that just came out today too.
Yep,
I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
Yep. And they're all doing stuff like that. I think that's really good for our sport.
Yeah, it's bringing more like people into watching it. And because I even remember when I was little and like the Olympics were on, sometimes like track could just get boring because it was heat after heat and no one really got excited and stuff. So it's kind of cool that like I know some people don't like him, but it's also it's fun to see the excitement in track. And so
the character and personality he brings is so like influential, and just like if it has controversy, it brings the haters in too, so everyone's watching.
And like he said, you have to admit you watched.
You guys did. You have to admit it. Yeah. So, wow, that's so cool. So glad you got to do that. Yeah. Well, let's talk about being one thing that's hard about being athletes is obviously running into injury. When you're an athlete, if you're putting yourself in the midst of very hard competition, if you're pushing your body to the max, obviously you do everything you can to prepare your body so you don't get injured, but sometimes it's just inevitable that something's going to come up. So from your perspective, how have you been able to deal with injuries, and like what are some of your like thoughts on that?
I think that for me, watching you have had a lot of injuries, and I think that you the way you go about it is very inspiring in the sense of you take care of your body really well, and you have some of the best attitude I've like seen someone that goes through it, because it can be very just, and also with injuries, also sickness and stuff like that. That's a big thing. Actually, speaking of Noah Lyles, he got COVID when during the Olympics going into his 200, which is his best event. So it's just these inevitable situations that come up. And the biggest thing I think with it is like, what are you going to do? Like when these inevitable things happen, like you have to, it's like all about how you view it. Like perspective is such a big thing. I think the hard thing is when I got injured last year doing a lot of repetition, it kind of, my knee just, I don't even know what it was that happened. But the hard thing is I was going into a state competition. And so you can't just all of a sudden not practice. And you also don't want to hurt yourself. So I think it's really tricky because you obviously want to take care of your body, but you also, can't stop training. So figuring out that balance.
Yeah, I've had a lot of different types of injuries in my life, and there's like the hard part is like when you do something like I blew up my meniscus once, and like you just have to wait it out, and you have to just do what you got to do to recover. In those moments, it's recognizing that all those sports are really great. Like they're not everything. The process to getting to those big achievements you want to get to are even more important than just the achievements. Figure out how to best prepare your body is really important too. Like, let me just say, if you can eat good food, be hydrated, and like sleep a good amount, you're gonna be like more prepared than like probably like 80% of athletes, like across the board. And that's like a huge part of it. It is very difficult when you don't want to, give up on a dream, but you do have to realize like the perspective. You got to move it to a long-term perspective. But like right now, honestly, just for the record, so when I look back on this, like in however many months or whatever, when I'm like out of it, hopefully, like it's very confusing. Like what I'm like right now, I'm dealing with basically like a lower leg injury, so like my calf and stuff. It's for whatever reason, just my calves like are just like a problem spot for me, and I've done like tons of like strengthening stuff, exercises, and mobility work and stuff like that. So if you're dealing with that, definitely, if anything's about your shins or calves, do all that stuff because it definitely helps. But it's very confusing for me right now, to be honest, because it's like it's not resolving like the way that it should. It's just very, very confusing, and the pain, like there's different people's opinions that are trying to help me that are kind of all like overlapping. And oh no, it is very hard when you're in an injury like this, especially when I'm a freshman on a team, and trying to just like get in a good rhythm and get ready for our actual season in the spring. So yeah, just for the record, it's very confusing, but yeah, I'm just working through it.
It's hard when you don't know and you just are in pain and you can't compete and you're wanting to practice, but you can't. And I think that's one of the hardest parts. And if you do have an injury, I mean, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's truly just like, it's really hard. So I think you've demonstrated really well. I've watched you just be able to take care of your body really well and, know when you need to just take a break and let your body heal.
Well, here's another tip. So I would say was able to go to a football game yesterday out of Vanderbilt,
Yes.
which was fun. And here's the story. All right, I sit down. I went with some friends from my track team, and we sit down, and I'm just taking it all in, and it's like super great. And then I hear kaboom, and it's just this loud like clanging and like falling behind me. I look down, and there was a woman's head just sitting right by my leg, like hanging off the bleachers. I'm like, hello. And she was like draped over my friend who was like in the seat behind me, and they're like those step down bleachers kind of. And I was like, and she was just hammered, completely drunk, still was holding her like beer can or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she just, just flopped off across like 4 bleachers. And so what I'd say is, please do not get drunk because you're probably going to get injured anyway. So just stay away from all that stuff. It's just dumb. And like, yeah, so that was my life story, I guess, for the week.
Yikes.
Well, let's transition real quick to I just wanted to do a quick little like music reaction moment real quick. Obviously we are both musicians. We're going to highlight just a few things right now. So this week a lot of music dropped. We're not going to do like a reaction video right now. We don't have enough time for that. But I just want to highlight like just so I remember when you look back on these podcasts, like this was a big week. So we saw on like kind of the like Christian music space a lot of new stuff this week. We saw Connor Price, who is an independent artist, by the way. Just like a bunch of really like rising artists there doing the independent stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Released a song with Maverick City Music called I Need Help. Personally, I think that for someone like him that has a huge fan base of a lot of different people across multiple countries, obviously the whole spin the globe thing that he does, to be able to like articulate and be like very just honest, I don't know, it was so great to like see that. So that's pretty cool. Next we got Jackie Hill Perry. Okay, she has done some of the most like incredible lyricism, like writing wise, as a rapper.
I mean,
Christian.
What else would you expect?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Jackie.
If you don't know who
yeah.
she is, you should just go look her up.
Mhm.
Go to like all her stuff, just try to like absorb it for a little bit. She is now signed to Reach Record, doing really incredible stuff. So listen to her album. I turned it on and it was like the first song just like was just, I don't know. And then you listen to the whole thing and just like every single song just hit after. It was incredible. And then Josiah Queen, who is another like of these like new artists kind of to the scene, released another single this week, and he's doing a lot of the stuff that it's more of that folk pop stuff, like Noah Khan but younger, and like the Christian version. It's pretty interesting. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. So shout out to him. We got a huge amount of other stuff. I mean, we had Tori Deshawn, Caleb Gordon, like literally everyone was dropping great music this week. So great job, guys. We're really proud of you. Jelly Roll released an album. Bailey Zimmerman released stuff. Morgan Wallen. It was a crazy week. So I just had to say that. So yeah, pretty cool. But Tiffany, do you have a TTT moment for us today?
Yes. All right. For our TTT moment, I'm going to talk about copywriting stuff today. So you might be wondering, if you were to write a song or whatever, do you have to get a patent for it or something like that? The answer is no. As soon as it goes from your brain into the world, on paper, anywhere, on social media, whatever it is yours, and no one can steal it from you. So with that in mind, you have to be able to prove that you wrote it first. So if you cannot prove that, then yeah. So but yeah, now with like videos and stuff like that, even on projects like Logic or GarageBand, stuff like that, they have like a time mark or whatever. So as soon as you write it, it is yours, my friend. So don't be afraid of that. And then if you would like to do covers and stuff like that, you are allowed to do that. You're allowed to put it up. You're allowed to, play it. But as soon as you start making money off of that, that's when you have to give like royalties back to the original person that wrote it. So yeah, that's just a little TTT moment. So
yeah, and if you ever want to like make sure you definitely got it, you should just like mail yourself like a little like CD or something, or like little like flash drive. That's like the little life hack if you're like if you're paranoid, but don't be paranoid.
If you're paranoid,
just
don't
write
be
songs,
paranoid.
guys. Yeah, we'll do a little episode later about songwriting, but you should start writing songs. It's great. So yeah,
there you have it.
Well, guys, we got a lot of cool things coming, a lot of cool things to talk about. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. We hope you have a great week. So see you later.
Peace, you all.